Story. Chief Ron Petrie was the chief of police in the village of Frankfort and the town of Frankfort. After a story had been published in the Observer-Dispatch concerning consolidation. Now, should these two police departments consolidate? I hate to say this, but anybody that looks at it from the outside in would say what? You have the town of Frankfort, you have the village of Frankfort. They're sharing a police chief. Anyone from the outside looking in would probably say, well, yeah, of course, it's obvious. But you understand, it's tough in communities to resort to consolidation. We see it all over the place. We saw it with the fire department issue over in Westmoreland and New York Mills or wherever that was last year, if you remember. Anyway, so the Observer-Dispatch printed something, and it was I believe the town, someone in the town, the supervisor, I believe, felt that the police chief was speaking out and behind a story that was pro-consolidation. So the police chief, Ron Petrie, was fired. Now, the question is he going to sue for wrongful termination? Very good question, I would say. And Chief Ron Petrie, who is still the Village of Frankfort police chief, is on the line right now. Chief, good morning. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning, Bill.
So did I get all that set up proper? Is that properly said?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's been a month or so, a couple of months, and where are you now? Are you going to move forward with the lawsuit?
I filed a notice of claim on Monday, reserving my right to file a lawsuit within the next calendar year. And in that notice of claim, it kind of lays out the history of what has occurred and the basis for the lawsuit, which is that my termination was a violation of my civil rights and my First Amendment rights to free speech, and that they didn't follow their own policy and procedure, the New York State town law, and civil service laws during my termination.
Wow. And you even said that you weren't behind the story and that you didn't make any comments that were either pro or against the consolidation, right?
No. When the reporter had called me, she asked the question was, did I think there was potential savings through a consolidation? And my answer was clearly yes, there is savings. However, the town had backed out of the consolidation effort, so the taxpayers will not see that savings.
Yeah.
And the town board stance has all along been that there's no savings to be had there. And as I've been telling everybody, you have redundant, identical services as far as police protection in the village and the town. Common sense would tell you that redundancy could save money if you reduce that.
Yeah.
Equipment purchases, just the overhead of two separate police stations with the computers, the lights, the heat, and that kind of stuff.
Just that alone, right?
Yeah.
And am I correct in saying that someone in the town of Frankfort, a town police officer, could stop someone in the village of Frankfort, as well as the village of Frankfort could stop someone for speeding or a traffic violation? Is that the case?
Correct. The town officers have town-wide jurisdiction, which includes the village. The village only has jurisdiction within the village limits. Anything, the town area outside the village, they do not have jurisdiction.
All right. Have you had, and Andrew, I think that it's Kinney, right, is the town supervisor there?
Yes.
Okay. Andrew, have you reached out to him? And we have. And could you reach out again? I'd love to be able to get to get his take on this. But at the end of the day, this, as a police chief, I'm assuming one of your roles is to deal with and communicate with the media, right?
Correct.
I'm having a tough time with your cell phone. For some reason, it's phasing in and out. Okay. So your role would be, and have there ever been a time that you were told, don't talk to the media?
I've never been told. Back in late 2015, there was I'll call it a heated argument at one of the town board meetings where they were on the verge of telling me that I can't speak to the media. And when I asked the direct question, are you telling me I can't speak to the media? The response I got was, we can't tell you that.
Wow.
Which I've never... I understand that if I'm speaking to the media, I'm not going to badmouth my employers. I'm not going to create a situation which will allow them the ammunition to terminate me. But the story that the OD printed, I never badmouthed either the town or the village boards, either municipality. My comments were strictly in reference to the taxpayers having an ability to save some money.
Yeah, and what has there a study been done to show on what consolidation would do in terms of saving money or not saving money?
The study was never completed. We applied for a grant to pay for a study to get completed, and
then the town backed out.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The town supervisor he continually references the plan or the study. I have no idea what he's referencing. The only document created was a grant application. There was no follow-through.
Can I just make one reference? The phasing sound on his phone is what happens when the companies allow their employees to go on strike. Not by, and I'm saying the company should be taking care of these employees and not giving them a reason to have to go on strike. I have no idea if that's the case, but Manaske.
I'm going to say this generally, and then, Chief, if you could kind of fill in the blanks. Typically, I mean, we've heard about police consolidations in Oneida County, for instance, and typically what you hear is maybe some council members saying, this is a good thing, it's going to save money in the budget. And then maybe on the other side, the police come out, maybe you talk to them and they say, yeah, but they're not, I'll just say in general, they're not necessarily in favor of it because usually it means some positions get cut. I'm sensing the opposite here, that maybe the police department is more than willing to consolidate, but the board is the one who's like, no, we don't want to do that. I guess that's my biggest confusion.
That's interesting. What do you think on that one, Ron?
Ironically, at one of the joint meetings throughout the grant application process, the town and the village, both boards met jointly, I believe 3 or 4 times. And at one of the meetings, the gentleman, Robert Rocco from the Department of State, he made that exact comment. He said, usually through a consolidation, the boots on the ground, the officers,
are the ones that don't.
Police, yeah, they're the ones that are against it, and the boards are trying to force it through. He said, you have quite the opposite here, which is good to see. The boots on the ground want the consolidation. They're willing to work together. And then, as it turns out, the board is the one that backed out of it.
Yeah, all right. Interesting. Andrew?
I just spoke with Town Supervisor Kinney, and he let me know that due to the advice of council, he's not going to make a comment right now.
Right.
But he's looking forward to after the fact or when he's able to come on and give his side.
All right, Ron. Anything else you want to add? And by the way, the comment on the strike thing, I don't know that he uses a Verizon phone at all. I have no idea. But I was just surmising. Anything you want to add to this, Ron?
No. It's unfortunate that it has to come to this for the taxpayers. I don't. I hope the taxpayers understand. I'm just trying to protect my own rights and not attacking them. But
well, I'm assuming you've lost half of your pay, right?
That was a part-time job, so
okay.
It's probably. I think last year I made like $15,000. But
right. Well,
the damages. I'm about a year away from retirement. I'm seeking additional employment, and that's where I'm going to run into trouble.
All right, got it. Understood. All right, Chief Ron Petrie in the village of Frankfort. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Bill.
All right, Ron. Birthdays here for today. It is Wednesday, May 25th. Sam Ventura in Whitesboro celebrating today. Sam, happy birthday. R.J. Savage in Marcy. And Ron Zeigel Jr. in Clinton. Everybody's celebrating today here on Wednesday, May 25th. Sam Ventura in Whitesboro. You get the cake from the Florentine Pastry Shop on Bleecker Street in Utica. Get a birthday on air by going to our news site at WIBX950.com, or you can send in a postcard, WIBX Birthdays, 9418 River Road, Marcy, 13403. 1 minute. Christine has news on WIBX.